Hey guys, welcome to Woodshop 101, episode number 100 for October 2nd, 2017. On today's show, we're going to talk about flipping do's and don'ts. I am Drew Short of the Rockin' H Woodshop, and I am joined by my co-host Sam Wooddell of Sam Ryan Designs and Jeremy Crawford of the Countryside Workshop. We also have a special guest with us who you might have heard last week, Sandra Powell of SawdustGirl, Inc. How is everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty darn good. Yeah. Thanks for
asking. Well, unfortunately, Sam is going to have to drop off this particular episode because she has some things that she needs to attend to. So I wanted to give Sam an opportunity to say hi and bye.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and goodbye. So
we're going to miss you on this episode, Sam.
I know. I'll miss you until next time.
We all know you're just hungover from your birthday bash.
I was just going to say, you all know I'm going out drinking because I just turned 21. See y'all later. Thank you. Have a nice show, and I will see you all in a couple of weeks.
All right. Have a good night, Sam.
Take care, Sam.
Bye.
We also wanted to thank our Patreon supporters for their support. Michael Brindle, Devin Richter, Sean McHenry, Derik, Ledesma, and Mose. You guys are doing great keeping the lights on here at Woodshop 101, so thank you guys very much for your support. So if you guys are wanting to support the show and you haven't already, you can go to woodshop101podcast.com/listen. Find the show notes for today's episode, and there will be links for small one-time donations and reoccurring donations. If you want to become a patron of our Patreon campaign, you can head over to patreon.com/woodshop101. But if you want to go a little more simplistic route, you can purchase Woodshop 101 podcast t-shirts or a marker pack from RevMark. We had some special markers made up with the Woodshop 101 logo right on the side. And every purchase of those goes to help the show as well. Head on over to countrysideworkshop.com/shop for that particular link. So this episode is basically our fast and loose episode. There are no introductions basically to find out what we're doing in the shop. We're just going to get straight on into the topic. So since there's 3 of us instead of 4, this ought to go fairly quickly. The topic of the show is flipping do's and don'ts. And I know that there are some woodworkers out there that are probably listening to this episode right now that are in process of flipping homes. And if you're not, sorry. I know that Sandra is really big into home renovations. And you said recently, I think on our last episode, that you are going to be starting something like a flip house pretty quick with your sister, correct?
Yes, indeed. I did say that, Drew.
Is this your first flip?
With her. I'm scared. AF.
Why is this so scary for you?
Because she and I are basically twin brains. We're not twins, but we're so alike. And we both are the worst at time management and planning. Like we talked about this last week or whenever that last episode was. Or do we not say that? Cut that out.
You got it.
Okay. That I project something's going to take 2 weeks and then it takes 6 months. And she's worse than me, although she says I'm worse than her. But we're both bad at it. So we're trying to do 30-day flips. So we're buying little houses to flip. No, it's so insane. We're insane. We seriously are. But yeah, that's our plan. She lives in San Diego and I live here in Knoxville. She comes here 30 days, get it done, and then she goes home. So
holy crap. Okay, so these small houses that you're talking about, what kind of square footage are you trying to stay under?
800. Well, under 1,000. Right around 800, or that's about all we are seeing. That. Yeah, right around 800. We have purchased one.
So already
8,000. Yeah.
One bedroom, yeah. 2 bedroom.
2, but oh my word. Yeah, we're both insane. It's 2 bedrooms, but we think we're going to tear down a whole bunch of walls and make 3 bedrooms. Plus, we're going to tear out the ceiling and use the attic space and make lofts. And
I was about
stuff.
to say make a loft.
So when you say flip, are you going to do every single room of the house, or are you?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a complete gut and
we're not going to gut the whole house, but as in like we're not tearing down all the walls. But
you're going to do new layouts. You're going to do some new drywall and
yes, everything has to be okay. Here's what's staying: the roof and maybe the wood floors and the brick on the outside. The outside is brick.
Say that the roof and the outer walls. That's the
outer walls. And the brick. I mean, the outer walls, which are brick, and the roof, because it's a new, like, one of those it's a red tin roof. It's really cool, and it looks in great shape. And it has wood floors, but there's a crawl space and no vapor barrier at all. It's just like the humidity is insane. So I don't know what we'll be able to save, but we have to fix the foundation first before we can do anything. So we have our work set out for us.
So do you find, in comparison to the homes that you've lived in and redone and this flip, and you're giving yourself a 30-day window.
I know.
With these things that you're talking about, because the more you talk about it, the more I'm like, oh my God.
I know. The more I'm right there with you.
Do you think that you are probably going to subcontract some of these things out?
Yes, definitely. But here's the thing. If we can get anyone to even return our phone calls and show up, because that's a problem. Because the housing market is so big, right? Like, like we had a big bubble and then it popped and then and now it's like going crazy again. Mm-hmm. So all the subcontractors are busy on their big jobs with the people that give them repeat work. So it's hard to get people to even call you back. So I don't know.
What kind of things are you thinking to subcontract out that you're trying to get subcontracted out anyway?
Well, we want to get someone to come dig out the crawl space for us and then probably help shore up the foundation and then do a lot of demolition. And we definitely have to get a structural engineer in because we're removing a bunch of walls.
Have you, and this is maybe just a thought that on some point, have you ever watched Blog Cabin on, I think it was DIY Network or HGTV?
Well, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Have you ever thought about maybe doing something similar, saying you get other content creators or other woodworkers that and like, hey, you want to come out for like 2 weeks and help me with the kitchen, and then get somebody else to schedule to come out and help you with doing the roof or something?
That's a secret.
Oh, we can't talk about
Why
that?
Why are you even having that thought? That is
She's like, get out of my head.
That's like the brilliant plan that I've had is like a super secret plan. Why are you talking about it? Just kidding. Yeah, actually, and we have, and it's complicated right now.
Yeah, and that would be a lot of schedule preparations from both sides. You, your sister, and the third party.
Yes, and a fourth party if there were in fact a fourth party.
Yeah, but your first one could be maybe people closer around local. Like Brad Rodriguez is not far, and then.
He's in Nashville.
Yeah, so which is what, like a little over 3 hours, or about
3.5 hours. Yeah.
So maybe look for the people that are a little bit local to do the first one, kind of hammer out some of those things. So now know if you want to do people like from California or from Florida or whatever, that you kind of have a better idea of how to schedule it and how to how they would get out there. So I think it would be cool.
Well, that's the complicated thing. It would be super cool, but it would be complicated because we're trying to do this on a budget. Like, we're trying to spend as little as possible. So we're not going to ask people we're going to ask them to donate their time, but then we would have to cover travel and lodging and food. There would be expenses. So
I mean, not necessarily. Not if you're looking at it from like a content creation standpoint. Be like, hey, you come out and maybe film a video of for your YouTube channel or something like that, and you start with your like some of your closer knit circle friends that and then it goes from there. It grows and people are like, oh, hey, I want to get involved in that. Like, hey, that's cool. Like,
do you want to come out?
I would. I would come out.
Do you want to come help flip a house in 30 days? How about you, Drew? How about you two? You two.
I would love to come flip a house.
Do it. She's going to be here in 2 weeks, so come on out.
She's used to have a basement. That's a good thing. I don't have students until October 18th. So
well, she'll still be here because it's a 30-day build.
So I'm off for the next 5 weeks. So not.
Oh, you don't have students.
No. So we sent. So we sent all of our students home when the threat of Hurricane Irma came through, and my team of guys is not set to pick up more students until October 18th. So you're free until October 18th. You're free from October 1st to the October 17th when you got to head back home. See?
Boom! I got my first content helper.
She's like, look right there.
You seem to forget. I just blew through my 2-week vacation.
See, this is what I think would be brilliant. I do think that this is a brilliant plan. And if there's something in it for the other, like it has to be beneficial to both parties. And I hope it is. But I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty fun to hang out with. Just come hang out with me and we'll make a video, right?
I do plan in the next couple of months, maybe 3 or 4 months, to probably step down with what I'm doing. I'm gonna step down. I'm a supervisor in radiology, and it's really getting to me, and it's taking away from my passion, which is this woodworking, doing custom work, doing YouTube, and I can't do that with what I'm doing. So I'm probably going to step down. So if you have another 30-day flip after I'm done.
Oh, we will, because we're doing one every other month.
Oh my God.
That's the plan. We're so insane. So but we'll see how
doing 6 a year.
Yeah.
Roughly, plus or minus around the holiday season, but dang, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with some of the crap that you're talking about doing.
I know, but see, this is what I'm talking about. Just blissfully blind, like hazy glasses that we're looking through.
So we could tie this into the topic. So flip a house. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But doing it in 30 days might be the pushing standpoint.
That's great. But here's the thing. We're not flipping them to sell. We're flipping them into rental property. So I'm not doing the same kind of work that I do on my house. We're not doing precise detail, super, creative and fancy or whatever. We're just doing cheap. We want it to be cute and healthy and safe and cute and functional, but not like I'm not going to spend 4 days, trimming out, I don't know. Didn't take me 4 days, but I don't know. Creating like custom, amazing woodwork stuff.
So since it is rental homes, have you thought about, instead of changing the entire structure altogether, just doing facelift stuff, improvements on things that are dated, but leaving the structure as is, so your 30 days can be attainable?
Yeah, totally. And I have 2 brothers. I have 10 siblings. There's 11 children. 2 of my brothers are like my sister and I, we've all remodeled houses and build stuff. So the two of them are going to come and help us at times. But my brother Sid we call him the dream killer, because he's like you. He's like what you just did right there, Drew. Like, okay, put your feet on the ground, head out of the clouds, reality. But Julie and I are like, we see a space and we see what it could become. And we want to make that happen. And because do you want I'm sharing it on YouTube, sharing it on the blog. So it's content. So working with brands, to try to get materials to help cut down on costs. I don't know. I just had a total brain fart. Well, I don't even know what I was saying.
I don't know if you call me a dream killer.
No, you're like my dream killer brother. Oh, so it's like two-sided. Like this is our business. We're flipping these homes into rental properties, but also it's part of my business, which is doing before, after, taking something that's one thing and making it something else, So
kind of having some evergreen content with it. So
yeah.
So you'll have a long-term income from it. You're not
residual.
Yeah.
So it's balancing that. But yeah. I mean, we do have to keep like reining ourselves in, saying, okay, no, we can't do that in 30 days. But sometimes you have to fill the house and then let it become what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess part of that is keeping yourself on that square footage as well, right? So you're like, hey, like we know we can't do a 1,500 square foot house in 30 days, so we have to keep it under that 1,000 square foot range. So by kind of setting some of your limitations there, you're setting yourself up, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I found this old, like this crazy old house, this 100-year-old house, but it's 1,600 square feet. Yeah, but that 1,600 square feet could push you out 45, 60 days, and then where's your profit margin on it? So
yeah, totally. So yeah, that's definitely square feet does equal time. I never thought about that when I bought this particular house I'm currently living in, which is huge and is taking forever.
So how will doing these smaller flips affect the progress in your house?
Well, I'll be spending only every other month on my own actual house and every other month on the flip houses. So, after we do our first 30-day flip in 2 weeks, when we start it, that's when I'll have lots of flipping don'ts for you. I'm sure I'll have all kinds of don'ts for you. Right now, I've just got my rose-colored glasses on and I'm going into it with, I think I'm going to do all these things, but I know it's going to be a failure. It's going to be cute. We're going to be way over budget, way over time, but it's going to be really, really cute.
This is what we might have to do, Jeremy. I mean, after she's done, like she said, we'll probably have to invite her back for a do's and don'ts 2.0.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And then compare and contrast.
Well, you know what I call those? I don't call them do's and don'ts. I call them don'ts and do nots.
Don'ts are kind of suggestions. Do nots are hard and fast. Do not do that.
It's more like
attempt this.
It's more like don'ts and oh crap, I shouldn't have done that.
Command-Z.
Yeah.
So, well,
yeah,
I mean, we definitely wish you luck. It sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll be expecting you on the first.
Yeah. You keep doing that.
You basically committed. Yeah. You heard it, right, Drew?
Yeah,
Jeremy.
I did, but I have a feeling you're going to be sitting on the front porch of that house, waiting.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Call my wife and let her know I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, and then be gone the next weekend to Atlanta, and then be gone the next 2 weeks after that to.
All I hear right now is excuses. That's all I'm hearing right now.
Just pretty much tell my wife you won't see him again until Thanksgiving.
But But it'll be really great collaboration. It'll really help your online influencer business.
See, there you go.
There's always a silver lining.
But go ahead and tell her that her dining room table won't be done.
Well, here's my other thought. Like this collaboration thing on flipping is great, but I think that we should have a maker bus, and it just like roams around and goes to different people's homes, and whoever has time, is on the bus. It's just a rotating schedule, and there's just a handful of influencers or makers or whatever, this community that we are, and we just show up at each other's projects and like work for a week.
That would be like an ultimate DIY network TV show. Yeah. The Maker Bus.
The Maker Bus. It would be like
the Maker or Bust. Like
Maker or Bust. Maker or Bust. Make or Bust. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of plays on that.
Yeah.
Love it. So. I would so be on that bus.
Yeah.
2 weeks out of my every other month that I'm on my house. So then it's going to take me another 11 years to finish this house. But then the bus can come to my house and we can get a whole bunch done in that 1 week. It'll be like 4 months of my time working alone.
There you go.
So here's a good compare and contrast, I guess, for people that flip for a living. Not in their spare time, but for a living. Most of these people that that have jobs that they have a paycheck that's paid religiously by their company they work for, they only put in like maybe 8 hours, sometimes 10. How much or how many hours do you see yourself and your sister putting in on this flip each and every day, and how many days a week do you plan on working?
7 days a week, 15 to 20 hours a day. We're gonna die. We're going to die. And literally, that's how she doesn't need any sleep. And she doesn't ever eat either. Like, I have to remind her because she'll, like, be passing out and then be like, oh, I need to eat. So she's a machine. So I just try to keep up with her. So we're going to die.
And what kind of percent return are you expecting or that you prefer whenever you sell the place? If you sold it, I'm sorry. I know you guys are thinking about renting. But if you did this for selling, do you have an idea on what you would want for a percent return?
Or even on rental income, how much?
Well, we have a formula.
Okay.
We have a formula for our rental properties. So like how much we can purchase it for, and how much we will put into it, and then how much we can rent it for. So our formula tells us that we'll make between 8 and 15%.
Okay.
And that's with you guys doing most of the work yourself.
Well, however we get it done for this budget that we have.
Okay.
Is it a percentage? Is it a percentage budget of like whatever you bought the house for? Percentage of what that is? So if you say you bought the house for $10,000, like what's your percentage budget that you're putting in?
It's not a secret. I'll tell you our formula. We're buying houses for. If you want, do you want the exact formula?
If you want to share,
I think your brain.
You can share whatever you want to share.
Your brain thinks about it differently than me. You're like, what percentage? I'm like, well, this dollar amount and this dollar amount. So I'll tell you the numbers and then you do the math because I don't know about the percentages. Can you tell that I'm not the one that actually worked the spreadsheet? I'm like, I don't know. I don't care about that stuff.
Maybe we should have her sister on.
I told you this. She would be much more interesting with this kind of stuff. This stuff is boring to me. I just want to fill the house.
You're like my wife. I just want to decorate it. Okay, I just want to decorate it.
I don't want to just decorate. I want to tear the walls down and build it up. But I don't care about how much percentage is going to be for the floors or the walls or the paint guy. I don't know. So that's why I'm doing it as a partnership, because this half of the partnership doesn't pay attention to that kind of stuff. That's really terrible. That's terrible.
But that's
Stop asking me these questions.
well,
I don't know the answer.
That's just like any other company, right? You have your accounting in a company because your workers don't do the accounting, right? They don't think about that.
Yeah.
They think about here's the task at hand. That's what's got to get done. And the other people are like, oh, well, that's how it's going to get done. But how can it pay for that to get done?
That's exactly right. Oh, I really like you right now, Jeremy. I'm the dreamer, and the percentage people, they're the dream killers. You need both of them.
You got to have opposites, because you said you and your sister are exactly alike.
We're both the dreamers, and our brothers are the dream killers. And they aren't there all the time. They're just, Skyping with. We're like, Sid, here's what we're thinking, and he's like,
all he hears is cha-ching, cha-ching.
Why don't you not tear down the ceiling and the walls, and why don't you just paint it? That's what he would want us to do. Like, I saw some of his rental properties that he has when I went to Boise, which is where he lives. And I'm like, oh, yeah, now I understand what you're talking about. Yeah, your rental properties do look like crap. We don't want ours to look crappy. At least not for the reveals on YouTube and the blog. Yes. Obviously, we know after renters move in, you don't expect it to stay looking pretty, but that's part of my business.
So here, I guess I can compare and contrast this way without giving away too many numbers. On that type of square footage on a rental property, what is the typical rent dollar amount in your area?
Well, in this area, where this particular house is, we're hoping to rent it for $850. But if we add a third bedroom, then we can charge another $100.
And is that pretty comparable to some of the rental homes that are around that area for that amount of square footage?
Well, that's where we get those numbers, because we haven't rented this one for.
So you should be able to make a decent amount of profit every month with the stuff that you're going to do to this house and the rental amount that you're wanting to charge.
I feel like the only thing that's missing on this interview is a bright light. A bright swinging light.
It's not an interview.
I feel like I got good cop, bad cop drilling me, and I'm missing the swinging light in my face. Well, we do, sir. We do. Yes, we do. We sure hope so.
I only talk this way just because I had always dreamt of flipping homes back in my early 20s. And my brother and I were even wanting to do it together. He is the dreamer. And I am kind of the...
We know you're the dream killer. We already established that.
When it comes to my business, I want to know where my money's going and what it's producing. But in my personal life, my wife is more of the dream killer and I am the dreamer. But she'll say that she's the dreamer too, but she's more of the grounded dreamer. I'm not so grounded. But in my own business, when it's my money involved, I'm a little more grounded than I am in my personal life. So I don't know. I always have those kind of questions just to find out, because I've never stepped into that realm fully like you're about to do.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this whole adventure, because that's what it is. The reason we're doing it in Knoxville is because we just bought this house for $50,000. 1,000 square foot house on a 1.1 acre lot.
Oh, that's nuts.
For $50,000. So, my sister lives in San Diego. So you need $1 million to buy a shack with a tree or a cactus. I don't know. So the stress isn't there. That we paid cash for the house. We're not paying a mortgage every month where we feel like we're losing money every month. So we actually bought it 2 months ago, and it's just sitting there. She was here a month ago, and we went over and did a little bit, but we're not actually flipping it until she comes back out because it's top secret. Nobody knows that we've bought it yet.
Well, by the time they listen to this, you'll have already started. So
yeah, we will have already started by the time this airs. So
which is it's kind of good. Like if you can afford to outright buy a house, like to flip it, then you don't have to worry about that each month. Like, oh man, I got to pay the mortgage payment, and I got to keep paying it until I either get A, renters in there, or B, sell the house. And that can be stressful because that is another chunk of that budget that comes out every month. Like you have to incorporate that in there.
Yeah. So it's like it's a bit of a complete. It depends on where you are in the world, but I mean I know there are other areas where you can buy really cheap houses, but $50,000 for this house, and it's not like awful. It needs to be updated. So we don't want to spend more than $20,000. Like that's plan.
Pretty reasonable. Mm-hmm.
So so it's not like a huge financial burden. And so we don't have that stress. And if we don't get it done in the 30 days, then, we're not spending $500 a month for mortgage or whatever. So we're kind of,
and it's your first one. It's a learning experiment. Like you have to know, and you expect that going in. Like this is our first one. It may not get done in 30 days, but what you learn here may make that next one get done in 30 days or 28 days.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's a lot of good information.
So really if you want to flip a house, come to Knoxville.
I definitely want to do a 2.0 after you are done with that flip.
No, you guys have to come out and do it on site. That would be awesome. And stay for a week.
Look, this is, I know, and Drew, we got to get Sam on board at some point next year. We've all three got to meet up somewhere and definitely have, Knox somewhere.
That's almost like a halfway point.
Well, I know we talked about like there's Haven conferences coming to Charleston next year, and I definitely plan on being able to put some people up, especially since I don't have to pay for the hotel to go to it. But there's like workbench conferences in like February. I think at the end of February. I'm not sure. But so there's tons of conferences coming up that like, hey, we should all try to meet up at one, or all try to meet up at somebody's shop and stay for a few days and kind of build together. So film something. Yes.
No, I was like, are we still recording? Are you cutting some of this out?
No.
Nope.
No.
Oh, okay. Because I'm pretty sure you can get sponsors a lot of people get sponsors to, help pay for their costs of going to those, especially if you teach a class or speak.
Yeah. And so Workbench Conference is pretty, well, it is new. This will be the first one in February. And a lot of it is content creators. There's the, like Ben Ueda is going to be there. And I think David Picciuto and a bunch of them are all going to be there.
Jimmy DiResta is speaking.
Yes. The entire Modern Maker podcast is going to be there. But I think Ben Ueda has a lot of hand in creating the conference. I'm not entirely sure, but that's just the feel that I kind of get from it. But I definitely thinking that maybe pitch, if not this year, next year, like we should try to do some kind of talk. Especially we'll be well into our third year of podcasting, which is pretty substantial for an audio podcast. So,
what other kind of podcast is there?
What other kind? There's video.
There's video. Yeah, isn't
video.
That what a video?
There's video podcasts. Yeah, if you go to like the iTunes store and under podcasts, there'll be video podcasts and stuff there.
Yeah, isn't that what this is too?
Yes, it'll be a video and audio. So, cool. But that's...
Yeah, so you guys should definitely get together and film something, together.
Yeah.
Probably in Knoxville at my flip house.
There you go. we could build like her built-in for her or something.
If it's done, then maybe you could stay there.
See, look, there you go. And we
I
work,
like the done part.
and
we
we
want to
work.
do a thing.
Yeah, no. She's probably gonna want us to
not
work
if
on the
it's
next
done.
flip house.
Yeah.
She's like, you can stay at this one while we flip this one.
Oh, that's true. We should totally just keep that house for. It's the Maker Station, or something. The Maker Hotel.
Have you thought about turning one of them into like a Airbnb?
Don't let any words come out of your mouth, because if you say my next super secret amazing idea out loud, I will do something.
Okay, well, if you turn it into that, then I will definitely be
because I
securing it for a few
definitely
days.
have that in the plan. That's in the works.
I will
That's
definitely
not-
secure it for a few days and come out.
Wait,
So.
after you're done recording, you need to tell me what it is you're thinking, because I don't know.
She's like, hey,
I'm like, if you're thinking massage parlor, that's a hard no.
yeah, no, Airbnb.
I don't.
Turn one of them into Airbnb.
Oh yeah, but yeah, actually, that's a possibility.
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
I thought Maker Massage was perfect.
Maker massage.
Yeah, I feel like I need a massage, so we'll do that.
We'll be like, it's a new thing. It's called Sawdust Massage.
There you go. Warm
I don't know.
sawdust. It's got to be heated up in like a microwave or a crock pot or something.
in a wood bending steamer.
There you go. Man, this is a new business adventure we're getting into.
The plastic wrap, we steam you up, twist you all around, get you all limber. Great. It's better than the salt baths. You guys are great.
Well, this has been a fun episode. Like I said, it's a lot of good information that I wanted to ask, even though I didn't get all the answers I wanted, but still.
She doesn't know the answers yet.
Basically,
I know.
told
That's
you
why I'm giving her
exactly.
hell for it.
I gave you exactly how much money we spent, how much we're spending on it, and how much the rent is going to cost.
And how long they have to do
If you can't
it.
figure out the percentage that you want from that, then that's. What'd you say about your shirt? Like, I can't help you.
Yeah, you're just
Too bad.
out of luck.
You're out of luck.
That's karma right there. Thanks a lot. All right. Well, it has been great having you on, Sandra. Thank you very much for agreeing to come on. And like I said, I would love to have a 2.0 version whenever you're done. So,
Me and my sister, I'm sure we'll have lots of don'ts and do nots.
and now, hey, on that 2.0 version, we'll see if we can get your sister on too. That'd be good.
Yeah, totally. You totally should, because then she'll give you all the numbers and percentages and psychology that you want.
Excellent. I want to hear it. So for those of the people that may have heard you last week and this week as well, go ahead and reiterate your contact information so they can ask you some more of these percentage questions.
Well, like I said last week, do not contact me and ask me these percentage questions, because I won't tell you. Just kidding. But you can follow along on this exciting adventure at SawdustGirl everywhere online. Instagram is my favorite, but you can find me on Facebook and Twitter, as well as my YouTube channel, Sandra Powell, aka Sawdust Girl, or my website, SawdustGirl.com.
Excellent. And if you want to get in contact with Jeremy, Sam, or myself as well, you can reach us at countrysideworkshop.com, rhwoodshop.com, samryandesigns.com, and woodshop101podcast.com. You can also email us, kickback@woodshop101podcast.com, or call us by voicemail. And since I issued that challenge last week, I'm hoping that next week we're going to get these 10 voicemails that I'm hoping for.
9.
Y'all better, because I want my stickers.
Yeah, true. Sandra left one, so we got 9 more to go. But you can also leave us an audio recording through your cell phone and send it by email through that kickback@woodshop101podcast.com, and we can play it back that way, and we will consider that a voicemail. So that basically wraps up this episode and Sandra's first appearance on Woodshop 101. So it has been great having you on. Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Wish me luck. Awesome. I need it. Lots and lots of it.
Yeah, hey, you'll get 30 days of prayers from me, okay?
Awesome. And Jeremy's going to be there with me, so.
Yeah, just warm my cup of coffee up and just keep it warm for me.
All of your audience heard you basically promise that you were going to be there helping Julie and I, so you cannot go back on your word. Because
it's like a binding contract now, Jeremy.
It's a binding contract. Yeah. If you say it on 101, then it must happen.
Well, then there's a lot of things that we need to go back and fulfill.
Yeah, that's right.
There's 100 episodes worth of things that probably have not been complete like what we say they have.
It's just the river of broken dreams and unfulfilled promises.
Yep, see.
Well, it doesn't surprise me since your partner in crime is the dream killer.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm just kidding about that. And it's not a bad thing. Dream killers are necessary.
Especially if you want to keep your money.
Well, I mean, you can't be buried with it, so.
That's true. You might as well make the dream come true.
Okay, I'll remember that. See if my wife takes that.
Honey, we just need to let the dream come true.
So from Jeremy, Sandra, and myself, and poor Sam, who could not finish out this particular episode, we want to wish you guys well. Please be safe in your shops. We will talk to you on the next podcast episode. So 1, 2, 3. Boom!